bless you. Death has taken our beloved Jackie. Our friends grieve in their darkened world. In their silence there is lamentation. In their tears there is loneliness. Lost in their sorrow may they find the presence of loving friends. Hear them, O God, be with them. For Jackie's love that united us in life in which death cannot sever. For her companionship that we shared along life's path, and which continues through the tenderness of memory. For the gifts of her heart and mind that brought us joy, and of course happiness, and is now precious remembrance. For all these and more, we give our thanks. Those who wish may join me in the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. For everything there is a season, a time for every experience under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to keep and a time to discard, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. When I met with the Mesnick family that I've known for a couple years, when you're with someone you know and you're talking, you begin to think of your own thoughts at times. And you begin to think back, especially when you're talking about someone who has died, of your experience with that person. I met Jackie, I'm going to say it's now close to 40 years ago. I'll say more about her personally in a moment. But there was a psalm that immediately came to my mind when I spoke to Marla and her family about her mother, about Stan's wife, about their grandmother. A woman of valor, who can find? She is more precious than fine pearls. Her husband trusts in her, and so he lacks nothing. She does him good, never harm all the days of her life. She perceives that her labor is rewarding. Her candle burns on into the night. She reaches out to those in need and extends her hands to the poor. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she faces the future cheerfully. She speaks wisdom. The law of kindness is on her lips. Her children rise up and bless her. Her husband sings her praises. Many daughters have done valiantly, but you excel them all. I think that is a good synopsis of what we all know of Jackie. Jackie was born in Cleveland in October of 1938, graduated from Brush High School, and began working. She worked for her brother-in-law, Rick. As you know, she worked here at the funeral homes, beginning with Miller Deutsch and then Berkowitz-Kumin-Bookatz. But what I found the most fascinating story that was related to me was how her and Stan met. Jackie was working at Lawson's. We all remember Lawson's. Remember the Big J, get the juice up to Lawson's in 40 hours? And she was there working with Stan's mother, Frida. And Frida came up to her one day and said, "Have I got a boy for you?" She says, "I have a son who's in the military. And he's stationed, I believe overseas, right, at that time? Okay. And she says, "Why don't you just write to him?" So they started writing back and forth. They never really met. And Stan took a leave and came in for Arlene's 16th birthday party. Where's Arlene? There you are. Correct, your 16th birthday party. And there she met Stan. And you can say it was love at first sight, but you could also say it was love at the first written word. And 3 years later, they were married. And they had a beautiful life together. They understood each other. They worked to raise a family together. 2 daughters, 2 sons. And they trusted in each other. Any of us who currently married or have been, you know that marriage is a work of art. And I use that word work of art specifically because if you know Jackie, she was an artist. Not just in her gifted talent of needle pointing and rug hooking, rug hook. I can make a play on that word too. All right, but if you walked in her house, you saw these beautiful works of art she created. And she created a beautiful marriage. She had that artistic ability, not just to create something to look at, but something for everyone to admire. And sitting in the first row is her creation, her love. I said she was a true artist, and she was. She was also a good person. I remember the first time I met her, what impressed me was the way she talked to families on the phone. She cared about them. She cared about their troubles and their needs. You know, some people say to me that it must be easy for you after so many years. And actually, it's the opposite. And it was that way with Jackie, because when you first start out in this profession at any level, whether it's an office personnel or as a funeral director or as a limousine driver even, you start out as a stranger. You don't really know the people you're working with. Then it becomes your friends' parents. Then it becomes your friends. And unfortunately, at times, it becomes your friends' children. So it doesn't get easier, it gets harder. But Jackie had this great knack of being able to talk to someone, to reassure them that what is being done is what needs to be done and will be done the right way. She was also able to listen to them. Not just talk, but listen, and to hear what they were saying. She was a good person, a very good person. But she was a person who really didn't like to cook. Am I right, Stan? She was good at making reservations. But Stan, but she, as I said, she enjoyed her art. She enjoyed camping. She enjoyed vacation, and she enjoyed the Cousins Club. But every time you think of Jackie, you smile, because she also had that humorous side of her. Now, Jackie, the family will say this, that Jackie was a good listener, but she also voiced her opinion. And you could disagree with Jackie, and Jackie could disagree with you, but her opinion was really the right way to go. And she let you know that in all your trials and tribulations. She was your mother. She raised you. She gave you the guidelines. And any of us who have been married know, no matter what we say, the wives give us the guidelines. And over a period of 16 years, she battled her illness, but she never complained about her illness. She took it with humor. She took it as the day came, day by day. It didn't change her personality. It didn't change her love for you. She was Jackie to the end. Caring, sensitive, capable, and devoted. She took care of business. She took care of her friends. And she took care of you, the family. And now it's my pleasure to call first upon Stan, who will say a few words for us. Take your time.
You know I could never memorize scripts. This is there is no way I can express in mere words my love for Jackie and how much I will always miss her and how much I loved her. I know she was sick and she was in pain for a long time, but Jackie would always say, if you asked her, I'm fine, never wanting to burden anyone. Now she's in peace. No more pain. During our 59 years of marriage, Jackie brought to me great happiness in so many ways. Vicki, Marla, Dale, Ross were gifts to us, multiplied by Jessica, Danielle, Talia, Hayden, Kirsten, Tyler, and soon a great-grandson. Whenever she talked about our children or our grandchildren, you could just feel how deep her love for them was, just how she felt. And she also felt as if Jillian and Carol weren't daughter-in-laws, they were her daughters. Jackie told me that being able to see Jessica and Andrew get married, followed by Danielle and Austin's weddings, were blessings. She was sick during this period of time, but these were blessings to her. Jackie was my best friend, my rock through hard times and good times. And this may be a little repetitious here, but as most of you know, Jackie was a very talented person in many ways. She was a wonderful pianist and a master needlepoint worker of famous artists, attested by the great number of the needlepoints that are adorning our walls and those of our children. When we went to Florida, she started rug hooking and was acclaimed one of the best in the guild. Jackie, about 5-6 years ago, I believe, took first prize in the National Guild contest for one of her most beautiful rugs. It was her encouragement and patience that allowed me to follow my passion for the stage. Her belief in me helped me succeed. I will always love you, my darling, and I will always, always miss you, my Jackie.
Marla?
First, I want to thank you all for coming to honor my mother's memory. She deserves this. She was very special. Most of you had the great pleasure to know my mom, but a lot of my friends that are here never even met her. And I'm sorry that you didn't, because you really would have liked her. Everyone who ever knew my mom liked her. She was kind, loving, patient, so very funny, talented, intelligent, caring, creative, generous, modest, and beautiful inside and out. She had more common sense than anybody I know, and she was always genuine and very humble, always polite, and just the best person that I've ever known. I considered her my best friend, and I know so many other people thought of her as their best friend too. She was the first person I'd call if something good happened or if something bad happened. I talked to her every day, even when there was absolutely nothing to say, just to hear her voice, and so she could hear mine every day. And I miss her voice. My mom never told me what to do or how to act or how to feel. That's not how she taught. She taught by example. I learned to look for and focus on the best in people, to always put other people first. I also learned to shy away from cameras, especially video cameras, like she did. I learned to, something she always did, always put on a quick coat of nail polish right before you run out the door to go to a wedding. I learned to play Scrabble from her. I learned how to make her brisket, stuffed cabbage, noodle cocoa chicken soup. I learned Yiddish, which comes in very handy working at the J. And finally, she showed me how to do the right thing, and she still guides me. When I don't know what to do, I ask myself, you'll like this one, I ask WWJD, what would Jackie do? My favorite advice that she ever gave me, she didn't give advice often, but she told me to smile. It's the best way to look prettier. All she ever said was smile and be nice. It was, okay. A few years ago, sorry. A few years ago, we had a huge scare, and Mom got really, really sick, and the doctor told us at that time to prepare for the worst. But against all odds, Mom had a miraculous recovery. It was long and difficult, but she came back truly better than ever. Her mind was sharper, her wit was keener, her memory was incredible. She also started to work out, which made me very happy, as you probably know. She got to see Jessica and Danielle marry their loves. She finished hand hooking her greatest rug of all time. And we got a couple of wonderful years that we didn't think that we were going to have. I feel like they were stolen years. And I need to thank Vicki for that. My sister took such great care of my mom. There's no doubt in my mind that it was her love and care that made it possible for us to have those other years. Vicky never left Mom's side unless Dad was there. Vicky slept every single night next to her in the hospitals and the rehab centers. And thank God she was there to catch some medical mistakes that could have killed Mom. And it's been 5 months since Mom's been gone. This is overdue. I didn't think that it would be so difficult to stand up here in front of you guys. I didn't expect this. But I'm still getting used to this new normal. And I still reach for the phone every day to talk to her, even though there's nothing that was left unsaid. I just wish I could hear her voice again. Now I am going to be cool and read something that Vicky wrote. Mama, at night I still crane my neck for my bed to see if you were sitting in your red chair. I think, do you need anything? Are you comfortable? Then I blink and reality sets in. As surreal as it is, this is our new real. It is painful void that we will always feel. I nicknamed you St. Jackie, everybody's best friend. I loved how well you loved, spending time with your treasured grandchildren, puppies, babies, monkeys, birds, flowers, colors, patterns, creativity, music, laughter, opera and theater, good food, family. Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Bradley Cooper, Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Lawrence, Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion, Johnny Mathis, violins, klezmer music, The Red Shoes, He Loves Me Not, Dr. Zhivago, Fiddler on the Roof, Dirty Dancing, Chocolate, Anything with Nuts. Oops, I skipped a line. Turtle Pecan Blizzards from DQ. That was a favorite. And I am keeping her strong. I'm getting those on her behalf a lot. Okay. Garlic Scampi, Anything Garlic. Oh, here's the chocolate, Anything with Nuts. Adorable photos and videos of animals, antiques, Asian art, anything Jewish, Paisley, Jewel Tones. Loved watching surgeries on TV. She would have loved to have been a doctor. Exquisitely talented rug and needlepoint artist. She sewed, crocheted, knit, played piano beautifully. A formidable opponent in Scrabble, Words with Friends, Gin Rummy. Humble. She made the best noodle kugel, apple cake, rugula. Was the greatest secret keeper of all times. Yes, she was. And everyone's confidant. So intelligent, smart, great game player, sewer of our clothes, best dry sense of humor. And it did her heart good to see any of us eat, especially if we were sneaking a piece of corned beef. She was generous, a great hugger, the best, extremely encouraging of her loved ones' talents and desires. She would defend her loved ones in any and all ways, and she forgave folks who hurt us, but she did not forget. When asked if she was ever worried or scared about a doctor's visit, her reply was, never for myself. Mom never said no to anything we asked of her. Until she couldn't say yes anymore. The medicines, the pain, the cycle. Just as Mom kept Grandma Sophie's memory alive, as well as everyone who passed on, we will keep Grammy alive. We will talk to her every day, as I now do, smile at her photos. She knows how hurt we are without her, and she does not want that. She wants us to be joyful, close, and understanding, and patient with each other, and for all of us to stay healthy and to carry on. She is with each of us every time we want her to be. In her incredibly true spirit, this is what she said to my sister, okay? Those of you that knew her, she had a great sense of humor. In her incredibly true spirit, the very last thing she said to my sister was, you need to brush your teeth. Always leave them laughing. Thank you.
Eileen?
Jackie, although you left us 5 months ago, there are a few things I wanted you to know. I miss you so much. I wish you were here. I'll see you in heaven. You have no fear. Your life went by way too fast for your family and me. It was a life to remember, 'cause you made it the best it could be. Your talents and skills could be no less. Everyone knew we were all impressed. It became clear to me your life was so blessed. I think of you often and blow you a kiss. My love for you, dear Jackie, I really do miss. Thanks for being my sister and my friend. And I wish you didn't have to go. I still love you now and forever, more than you know.
And a call up Jessica and Danielle together.
Jackie was my grandmother. And I have written something, but before I say that, I just wanted to share that I had a dream last night that that we were planning this service today, and Grandma was with us, and she just kept making jokes about how we're all being too sad and putting way too much into this. And so that just made me smile when I woke up, because that was so her. My grandma was the most amazing woman. She was sharp, witty, and above all, loving and humble. As everyone's mentioned, she was the most talented person I knew, but would always say she was just all right. Her joy came from the love she had for her family, and she was a best friend and confidant to so many. She was never judgmental and always believed in me. She was the person I couldn't wait to tell good news to, because I knew her reaction would match my joy, and she was pure love. Grandma was so funny. She had a quick wit and a dry sense of humor. Each time she sat across from me at the dinner table, she'd say, "Ugh, I have to look at this ugly face." She loved animals, watching puppies and monkeys. Ultimately, nothing I could say will come close to matching what she meant to me. She helped raise me, and she was my source of unconditional support and love. I learned so much from her, and she's such a part of me. I don't really feel like she'll ever be gone. One of my earliest memories of Grandma Jackie was staying up all night and talking with her until we saw the sunrise. I was very young at the time, maybe 5 or 6, and I was lucky enough to repeat that scenario throughout my life as a teenager spending the summer at her house, and again as an adult visiting my best friend, who also happened to be my grandmother. Growing up just up the street, I considered Grandma Jackie part of my immediate family. Over the years, she taught me many things, like how to bake cookies and make the perfect pot of popcorn, how to play Scrabble really well, and more important things like grace, patience, how to be a good listener, and keep a sense of humor in the face of the worst things life has to offer. So many nights we would stay up, snacking, playing cards, watching Golden Girls, and talking. And like any best friends, we could laugh at the TV shows and then turn right around and talk about personal or difficult things. No matter where life took me as I got older, I would gladly call to chat on the phone. Staying in touch never felt like an obligation or a chore. I have several emails saved from her that she sent me when I was living in faraway places, just to say, "I'm thinking of you. Here's a picture of a cute squirrel. I love you most." Grandma Jackie never made me feel that she took my visits for granted. When you were with her, you were the most important person in the room. I hope the people I love feel as loved as Grandma Jackie always made me feel.
There's an expression in Judaism that says the most meaningful words are the words that come from the heart. And today we heard those words. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we will remember Jackie. In the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter, in the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we will remember her. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, in the beginning of the year and when it ends, we will remember Jackie. When we are weary and in need of strength, we will remember her. When we are lost and sick at heart, when we have joys we yearn to share, we will remember Jackie. So long as we live, Jackie too shall live, for she is now a part of us as we remember her. Please rise for the memorial prayers. El Malay Rachamim Shochem Barmamim Hamse Menucha Nachat Kamfe Hashkina Im Kadoshim Hutorim Kazar Harakia Misrim Es Nishma Jacqueline Mesnick Shalach Le'elamo Vial Harachamim Yasdirehu B'Seser Kanafo Le'elamim Vayisror B'Zor HaChayim Es Nishmata Adonai Hu Nachalato V'Yanuach B'Shalom Amish Kavah V'Namar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Jacqueline Mesnick, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in your eternal presence, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance, and may she rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. The dust returns to the earth as it was, the spirit returns to God who gave it. It is only the house of the Spirit which we now place within the earth. The Spirit itself cannot die. Receive in mercy, O God, the soul of our departed Jackie. Grant her that everlasting peace which you have prepared for us in the world to come. Though no human eye has seen, nor ear has heard, nor mind has grasped it, still it is our sure inheritance and our everlasting portion. Oh God, help us to understand that grief and love go hand in hand, that the pain which loss inflicts is a measure of a love stronger than death. Though we cry in the anguish of our hearts, may we be like children who know that their parent is near and who cling unafraid to the trusted hand. In this spirit, O God, do we commit all that is precious to us to your keeping, as we repeat words hallowed by generations. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabbah. V'alma divra chirusei v'amlich malchusei. V'chayecholnu v'yomecholnu v'chaye dechol beis Yisrael. B'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'elam ulamei amaya. Yisparach v'yishtabach v'yisparar v'yisramam v'yisnaseh. V'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shmei dekudashah barichu. V'yela mimchal berchasa v'shirasa. Tushbachasa v'nechamasa. Damiram v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamad, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Lechi shalach Adonai, go your way, for God has called you. Like Vadanoia Imecha, go your way, may God be with you. May Jackie, your righteousness go before you, and the glory of God receive you. On behalf of the entire Mesnick family, I wish to express their gratitude for you coming here today, taking your time to share not just their grief, but their love, and the love we all had for Jackie and the memories. As our coming here was to find peace, so too may our going in peace. Amen. The family will receive friends immediately following the conclusion of the service at the residence of Marla Mesnick, 6474 Gates Mills Boulevard in Mayfield Heights. Oh, you can't go. You can't park on Gates Mills. You got to park where? Kingswood, the side street. You park on that, okay? Again, I thank you all for coming to this solemn but special moment. Thank you.